Under the glowing lights of the America's Got Talent stage, the crowd waited in eager anticipation. The next performer, a young Filipino man named Miguel Santiago, 24 years old, from Cebu City, walked quietly to the center of the stage. He clutched the microphone in his trembling hands, trying to steady his breathing. The massive theater, the cameras, and four of the world's most intimidating judges, Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, Sofia Vergara, and Howie Mandel, all watched as he took his position. "Hello," Simon said, his tone curious but cautious. "What's your name, and where are you from?" Miguel smiled nervously. "My name is Miguel Santiago, sir. I'm from the Philippines." The crowd erupted into applause and cheers for him, their enthusiasm warming the air. Simon raised a brow. "What will you be singing for us tonight?" Miguel took a deep breath. "I'll be singing Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley." The audience murmured in surprise. An Elvis classic, a bold choice. Simon tilted his head, half smiling. "That's a big song. Are you ready?" Miguel nodded, his heart pounding so loud it drowned out everything for a moment. Then the music started. The soft strumming of the guitar filled the theater, and Miguel began to sing. "Wise men say, only fools rush in." His voice, rich, soulful, and unbelievably smooth, instantly silenced the room. It carried warmth, heartbreak, and nostalgia all in one breath. His tone was not a simple imitation of Elvis, it was uniquely his own. There was a Filipino sweetness in it, an aching sincerity that made the old song sound reborn. Sophia's eyes widened. Heidi placed a hand on her chest. And Simon leaned forward. For the first time that evening, he didn't interrupt. Miguel continued, his voice rising, trembling with emotion. "But I can't help falling in love with you." Behind his song was a story that none of them knew yet, but one that every note revealed. 5 years earlier, in Cebu City, Miguel was just another dreamer. He worked at a small car repair shop by day and sang at night in a local bar by the shore. His father, Ramon, a tricycle driver, had always told him, "Music will carry you farther than money ever could, Anik. Keep singing." But when Miguel was 18, tragedy struck. His father suffered a heart attack on his way home one rainy night. Miguel was left alone with his mother, who struggled to make ends meet by selling food at the local market. Every evening, after work, he would sit by the ocean and sing Elvis songs, his father's favorite. The melodies reminded him of the nights they used to sit outside their small home, listening to Elvis cassettes on an old radio that barely worked. His mother once said, "When you sing Elvis, it feels like your pop is still here." Those words stayed with him. So when an AGT scout visited the Philippines for regional auditions, Miguel gathered the courage to try. He knew it was crazy. He had never even been on an airplane before. But he promised himself, if he made it, he'd dedicate the performance to his father. Back on the AGT stage, he sang the final line, his voice trembling but strong. "Take my hand, take my whole life too." The music faded. Silence filled the room. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then the audience erupted. Cheers, whistles, and standing ovations filled the theater. Howie jumped to his feet, clapping. Heidi wiped away a tear. Sophia looked genuinely moved. And Simon just sat there, stunned. He finally spoke, his voice softer than usual. "That was, honestly, one of the most beautiful renditions of that song I've ever heard. You didn't just sing it, you lived it." Miguel's eyes welled up. "Thank you, sir. I sang that for my father. He loved Elvis. He used to say that Elvis music was for dreamers, and that one day, maybe, his son would sing on a big stage too." The crowd sighed collectively, many holding back tears. Simon nodded slowly. "Well, Miguel, wherever your father is, I think he's very proud of you tonight." And then, without another word, Simon reached forward and hit the golden buzzer. The confetti exploded from the ceiling like a storm of gold. Miguel fell to his knees, overcome with emotion. Tears streamed down his face as the audience roared. The judges stood, applauding. Simon walked onto the stage, something he rarely did, and shook Miguel's hand. "That," Simon said, smiling, "is why this show exists." Overnight, Miguel became a viral sensation. His audition clip, titled, "When a Filipino Starts Singing Elvis," even Simon couldn't believe it, was watched by over 50 million people in just a week. Filipinos all over the world shared it proudly. "That's one of us," they commented. "Pinoy pride." He was invited to talk shows, interviews, and even received messages from Elvis tribute singers around the world who praised his voice. But Miguel stayed humble. Every success, he said, belonged to his parents. During the semifinals, he performed Suspicious Minds, reimagined with a soulful acoustic arrangement. He poured every emotion into it, remembering the struggles back home, the long nights when he had to choose between saving money for food or for music lessons. Simon told him afterward, "You have what money can't buy, heart. You make people feel something. But the final round would test everything. Miguel chose, If I Can Dream, Elvis' anthem of hope. It was a daring move. The song demanded power, passion, and soul, and Miguel gave it all. As he sang, images of his journey flashed in his mind. His father fixing his tricycle, his mother praying before his flight to America, his own reflection in the bathroom mirror whispering, "You can do this. There must be peace and understanding sometime," he sang, voice cracking with emotion. The audience swayed. Even Simon's usually stern face softened, his eyes glistening under the lights. Miguel hit the final note, long, pure, and resonant. The entire theater stood up before the last chord even ended. Tears rolled down Miguel's face as he looked up toward the ceiling. "This one's for you, Papa," he whispered. When the results were announced, Miguel came in second place, but it didn't matter. The world had already fallen in love with him. He was invited to perform in Las Vegas, where he sang, "Can't Help Falling in Love," once again, dedicating it to every dreamer who came from nothing. After the show, Simon found him backstage. "You know," he said, "winning isn't always about the trophy. Sometimes it's about leaving a mark. You did that." Miguel smiled, clutching the small golden confetti piece he'd kept since his audition. "Thank you, Mr. Cowell. That means everything." Simon nodded. "Call me Simon." They both laughed. Months later, Miguel returned to Cebu. When he stepped off the plane, hundreds of people were waiting, fans, reporters, even children holding signs that read "Welcome Home, Elvis of the Philippines." His mother ran into his arms, crying. "You did it, Anik," she said. "Your papa would be so proud." Miguel held her tightly. "We did it, Ma. We both did." That night, he stood by the ocean, the same place where he used to sing alone, and softly hummed "Can't Help Falling in Love." The wind carried his voice over the waves. Somewhere in the distance, it almost felt like his father's laughter was carried back with the breeze. Months turned into years. Miguel went on to record an album titled Dreamer's Heart, blending classic Elvis ballads with his own soulful interpretations. His music reached audiences from Los Angeles to London, Tokyo to Toronto. But he never forgot where he came from. He built a small music school in Cebu, offering free lessons for children who loved to sing but couldn't afford formal training. On the wall of the school hung a framed quote, "Greater than, dream big, sing louder, and never forget the ones who believed in you first." It was signed, Miguel Santiago. Years later, in an AGT special titled, Where Are They Now?, Simon Cowell reflected on Miguel's audition. "There was something magical about that night," Simon said. "He didn't come in trying to be Elvis. He came in trying to be himself. And that's what made everyone fall in love with him." Clips of Miguel performing on world stages played on screen, his smile radiant, his presence calm but commanding. "He's proof," Simon continued, "that no matter where you come from, Cebu, Manila, or anywhere else, if you have heart, the world will listen." One evening, Miguel sat alone in his quiet home, looking at an old photo of his father beside his tricycle. He smiled softly and whispered, "We made it, Papa." Then he walked over to his old guitar, the same one he'd used in his first audition. He strummed the familiar chords and began to sing once more. "Wise men say, only fools rush in." The same song that had changed his life forever. Outside, the night breeze carried the melody away, through the palm trees, across the streets, into the hearts of anyone listening. And somewhere, maybe in the heavens above, a father smiled proudly. His dreamer son had indeed found his voice, and with it, the world.